Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Archie Tech experiment. I know I'm not your regular host. I am Abmari, and I'll be taking over the channel today because we have a very special guest, your very own Archie Tech, here to talk about his recovery experience and the personal process that he went through. So we're going to go ahead and have him join in right now.
We good. Hey, what's
Hello
going on?
there. How are
Uh,
you?
I'm good. That waiting room was pretty depressing. I never had to sit in the waiting room before.
No, there wasn't like music or a band,
No,
nothing entertaining.
not at all. Not at all. Not even elevator music. It's just dark. It's just dark.
We'll have to
It's
let
dark.
Zoom know.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited to have you, on your own channel talking about your own experience because I'm
Yeah.
sure you do this on the other side. And so it's nice to have you get to talk about your life to your followers.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. More anxiety on this side of the camera though. So
Well, let's take a breath together. Breathe in.
it's gonna take some getting used to.
We're going to take some breaths. Yeah. Breathe in, hold at the top, and breathe out.
Oh yeah, that does work. I felt a lot better.
Cool. All right. So let's just jump on in. So I see here that you've been developing a TikTok specifically on recovery and being part of the recovery community. So why do you think that people are drawn to that story, and what interests them in following you?
I don't think it's anything special about me. I think that the recovery community as a whole is just like real supportive of each other. So like when people see someone else in recovery, they immediately want to reach out and support that person. And it has been like really good for me. And I'm helping other people as well. So that's what just the recovery community is all about, is just helping each other.
Yeah.
And I think TikTok, it gives us a good platform to do that, because we could talk to each other from all over the country, all over the world, really.
Yeah. And I feel like it's such a place to be like authentic. It's because it's so like new and everyone can sort of do whatever they want. You can really show up as yourself and have that be
Absolutely.
accepted.
And also too, like, you don't actually know these people personally, so that also makes it a lot easier to, just let loose and be yourself.
Yeah, no, I so wholeheartedly agree. And so going into like the platform itself, what role do you think this has played for you in your recovery and maintaining that sobriety as well?
Oh man, it's been essential. It's been really essential in maintaining my sobriety. I get messages from people all the time that are like, I saw this video and it helped me to get sober. People comment on my videos and say, I always mark my days. For anybody that hasn't seen any of these videos, like I'll say how many days that I have clean, and people will comment like day one for me, and I'm like, keep going. You know what I'm saying? And that actually helps me in return. So I'm helping people. I'm being helped, and yeah, it's been essential. It's been essential. Big part of my recovery. And also documentation. Like, I'm documenting this, and I know that I have to hold myself accountable.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? People on that platform will also hold me accountable too. So
100%.
no slips.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I feel about like all social media in a sense. Like if when you put yourself out there, you are putting yourself accountable in front of, whoever is there. And even if it's no one, like just the idea that your video is out there for someone else to look at, like it's that just enough pressure to like keep it going.
Absolutely. It's documented. It's there. You know what I'm saying? It's there.
Yes.
It's documented. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And I would just, would love to kind of know for myself and maybe for others, what day are you on? What's today for you?
There's actually 147 days today.
Amazing. I love the number.
Right.
Yeah.
147, and I'm right there at 5 months. So
That's
right,
so
right
good.
at knocking at the door to 5 months.
Congrats. I love to hear it. Love to hear it. Yeah. So let's just kind of get into the thing, right? Like, we're talking about recovery, right? We're talking about sobriety. So obviously that means that there was some sort of substance that you were using. What was that for you?
My primary substance was cocaine, and then secondary was fentanyl. I would use them together in speedball. But because of fentanyl, the physical withdrawals from fentanyl, I would have to use that every single day. You know what I'm saying? In order to function. But it was a mix. I would speedball. Um, I wouldn't enjoy one without the other.
Yeah, yeah. So you, when you say like, as far as like the withdrawal, you say, are you saying that you have to continue using the drug in order to get you through the process of not using, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think yeah, when I wake up in the morning, I will have to use fentanyl and then go out on my search for cocaine,
Mm,
which kind of ultimately made fentanyl, I guess, my primary use by default because I would need that to like, you know what I mean, carry out my day. So
right. Yeah, yeah. And so what was there something that happened, or what was the point in which you realized that this was posing a large problem for you?
well, that's a good question. I think I've known like from, you know what I
Mm,
mean?
mhm,
Like it wasn't a time where I didn't know it was a big problem. It was kind of difficult to break away from it for me. Like the breaking away from it was like the most difficult part, you know? Like feeling like you need that essentially to survive is, you know what I'm saying, like it becomes a part of your daily routine, and it's just hard to it was just hard to break away from. But I think like when I first started noticing like throughout my life that addiction was becoming a problem, it was kind of later on than most people, I think. I was about in my late 20s, mid 20s when it really started becoming a huge problem for me. I think the first time I used heroin I think I was like 20, 28, 27 or 28. So
mm,
it came really later on in life, like early, like in my late teenage years while I was in jail. But when I got out, I was about 22, and I would use coke, but it was like recreational. Not to say it wasn't a problem, but I didn't recognize it as a problem because everyone I was around was doing it,
mm,
and it was like a party thing. It was recreational. Even in my early teenage years, I would like pop pills a lot, but everyone was doing it. It was like a party thing. It was never like for lack of a better word, like I wasn't a junkie yet. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? And excuse me if I offended anybody, but just yeah, I wasn't like terrible yet. It was just partying and recreational use, and that was pretty much it until like my late 20s. After my second lengthy prison sentence, I think is when I started to realize like that this is getting pretty bad. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And so was there a moment where you like knew and decided that you need to make a change? Like what was that for you that put you in, a different state of thinking, of being, where you're like, okay, this is not what I want any longer.
Um, it was two things that happened like very close to each other. Like last year, I would take my son to the movies. I was about I had it was before my second relapse, and we would go to the movies all the time, and we would have like the time of our life at the movies. Like we would joke, laugh. It was and like that was kind of our thing, you know what I'm saying? And we went to see I think the Eternals in the theater, and I was not in good shape at that time, and I was like falling asleep throughout the movie, and he was it was like noticeable I think to him, and even if he didn't notice, I felt terrible about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And that was kind of like a kicker for me. Like, all right, this gotta stop. Um, and also like I almost had a mental breakdown. I feel like, and I just quit my job, and my car got repossessed, and I was just like rock bottom isn't the word. I was under the rock. Um, and I was like, I gotta make a change. It's either now or never. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I started taking those steps to recovery.
Yeah. So it sounds like it wasn't necessarily like one thing, but it was just a compound of sort of like life continually happening in the same way. And then you saw the effects of what that was.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, like you said, it was just a compound, it was a combination of things and maybe things that I didn't even notice. You know what I'm saying? Like things that was tugging on my subconscious, like on a
Mhm.
subconscious level that I probably didn't even realize at the time was just like the universe pushing me into, you know. And really I have a strong support system, and like my aunt played a major role in me getting clean and maintaining sobriety. Like to this day, she has been like just a godsend. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that I have it a lot easier than a lot of addicts, which I often felt like kind of like survivor's guilt. You know what I'm saying? Like I often
Mhm.
felt bad about because I do have a really strong support system, you know, between my mom, my aunt, my grandmother, and people. I'm not gonna list everybody. They know who they are. I got people that reach out to me on like a weekly or monthly basis, like, "Are you okay?" You know what I'm saying? And just that alone, like, does wonders. So, um, sometimes I don't give myself a lot of credit because it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I want to say it's handed to me because, you know, it's ultimately my actions that, you know what I mean? And like,
Yes.
you know, even saying that out loud, because I don't often feel like that. Like I often feel like, you know, I could be doing more. But I do, like I talked to my therapist just last week and she recommended that I start giving myself more credit because
Mm.
at the end of the day, like people could offer opportunities. It's ultimately I'm selling this shit, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's my actions that kind of determine whether you know what I mean. So
Yes. Yes. And also to that point, like you can have both things can exist. You can be doing enough and still be able to do more. Like those are, they don't have to be one and, they're not exclusive, mutually exclusive. They can exist at the same time. You can be in a great place doing all the right things and, be able to do more. And that's okay.
mhm,
Yeah. Love
absolutely.
it. So you touched a little bit on, some of the things that are helping you sustain your sobriety and really keep you going. And one of them I think was your son. But aside from, TikTok and social media, what are some of the other things that do like help you keep going?
Well, I, my son is the reason that I hold on, but like I won't crash and burn. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be that example for him. You know what I mean? Also, it's this need that I feel to inspire other people. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So it's like when I get these messages from people saying that, you know, I saw this, I saw you do this, and that inspired me. Like I see people that messaged me 2 months ago, and I follow them also on Facebook or Instagram, and I see them posting pictures at jazz festivals and with their kids, and they're clean out, and you know what I'm saying. That keeps me going, knowing that I'm like I'm touching other people, and
mhm,
I feel like I don't want to get like big headed because I feel like the universe is just using me as an instrument, and with or without me, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna work itself out. So I do remain humble, but I do want to be that, you know what I'm saying? I want to be that instrument being used in not only other people's recovery, but their well being, like mental health. Like I got people that maybe never did hard drugs ever, but they know that they can come to me when they're having a bad day. A friend of
mm,
mine just reached out to me and said, he's having trouble with his marriage right now. And I saw a status and I called him. I'm not the guy that's gonna comment on, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna comment. I'm gonna jump straight in your inbox, or I'm gonna
mm,
call if I have your personal phone number, I'm gonna call you immediately. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And I kind of talked him through that. And so yeah, that keeps me going. I also have some goals, like the Archie Tech experiment. This show keeps me. I know that I have to stay focused to do the things that I want to do and accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Like I
yeah.
could never imagine doing the things that I'm doing now. Just only 5 months ago, I would have never thought.
So
So
good. Yeah, yeah. So let's like speak some of those things into existence. What are some of your goals? Like what are you getting into? Tell us about that.
well, I wanna I want to like make a real show. The Archie Tech experience is something that I've been thinking about a lot. I've been working on that. A set schedule, you know what I mean? Like right now I'm just experimenting with things, just seeing what works and what doesn't work. And I think that I'm coming up with a pretty solid formula for like a real actual podcast. And so that's like a short term, a long term goal, something that I could like really, you know what I'm saying? Like make a mark in the podcast world with staying sober. So me and my aunt, we talked about buying some properties back in my hometown, another long-term goal, but like affordable housing and fixing up our area. So the area that we grew up in. So yeah, I have goals. My aunt is trying to convince me to do like poetry, like literally, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really feeling that yet, but who knows, you know what I mean? Like I came this far, so I just, you never know. But also like for the greater good. Nothing I do is like, you know, I'm like a very selfless person by nature. Like everything I do, I feel like it's ultimately for the greater good. Like I wanna just use my positive energy and you know what I'm saying, this state of mind that I'm in now to ultimately make my space better. You know what I'm saying? Like even if I can't change the world and make the world better, if I could like infect the people around me, you know what I'm saying? And then they in turn, you know what I'm saying? Then it spreads, you know what I'm saying? That's how
ripple
we
effect.
all spread. Yeah, a ripple effect, exactly. And I want to play my part. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a role to play, and I want to play my part at doing the most effectively that I possibly can, you know?
Yes, absolutely. I love it. I love what you're talking about, like generational wealth, right? Building something that is sustainable for yourself and the generations behind you, whether it's, you know, your own family or just, you know, the people who exist with us, because let's face it, we live in a collective world.
It's a collective world. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Well, this has been a gift and a pleasure. And I hope, you know, it's been the same for you and it feels good to speak your story to the world, because I know being on the other side of the camera isn't always easy. Talking about yourself isn't always easy. So I commend you on that.
Believe it or not, I would much rather the spotlight be on somebody else. I want to be the one asking the question.
Yeah, no, we all get to share in the light, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, that is all the time we have for you today. And as Archie Tech loves to say, love each other and be kind to each other and everything else.
All of that. That's how you end the show. And I can have my show back next week, right? Are you gonna give it up?
You can have your show back for whenever you would like. That's up to you. You let me know. Right. How about you let me know when I'm back?
All right, will do. That was great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.